Hi guys, I'm finishing up chapter 2 of the Bootlace Magician. I know the last video that I started ended abruptly. It was because I accidentally hit the stop button on my camera. So I'm going to finish out chapter 2 of the Bootlace Magician. I see, said the lightbender. And I picked Fish because I thought he was lonely. Micah didn't see any reason to mention that the knot he'd given Fish was full of his memories of Grandpa Ephraim, or that he'd wanted to have someone to talk to who knew his grandfather as well as he had. Only I guess ideas probably don't get lonely, do they? I cannot say for certain, the lightbender hesitated, then added, I believe I promised you that I would speak to the manager about allowing Jenny Mendoza to visit. I apologize for not doing so yet, but It's fine. Micah could feel the knot that represented his friendship. With Jenny, tied into his bootlace bracelet right now. He would love to see her, but he didn't want his guardian to feel like he had to offer. We've been sending each other so many letters. Still, said the lightbender, I will speak to him about it. When they got outside, the illusionist showed Micah how to close the flaps over the menagerie's entryway. He ran his fingers in a neat circle over a certain spot, and the scarlet fabric on either side of the entrance drew itself together like a set of curtains, shutting the two of them out. Not even a crack of light showed from inside the tent. Mr. Watson just got home. For a moment, it was so dark that Micah could barely make out the shape of the lightbender standing beside him. Then an enormous fireball exploded overhead, painting the night sky in orange light. Micah yelped and jumped, his heart racing. Wild cheers came from the midway. For a few seconds, he didn't know what was going on, but the fire roiled overhead. He realized it was only the grand finale of Fire Slate's show. Micah gazed up. It seemed like ages had passed since the fire show started. As he watched, the flames morphed, shaping themselves into a mythical creature with a spike-crested head, a long tail, and bat-like wings. The dragon roared silently. The lightbender mmmmed. Micah looked over at him and saw the corners of his mouth lifting mischievously. All at once, the fiery dragon turned a deep blue-green. That's my favorite color, said Micah. Is it? The lightbender gave him a knowing look. Micah wondered if everyone could see the teal flames, or if his guardian had spun the illusion for him alone. The lightbender turned to go. Are you sure I shouldn't stay? Micah asked. I could shovel sawdust with the strong men, or fetch water buckets to help refill Fish's tank. He figured if an idea wanted to look like a fish, then it probably wanted plenty of water to swim around in, too. A generous thought, but the strong men can shovel more wet sawdust in a moment than the two of us could manage if we worked until dawn. And we will let the inventor deal with the aquarium. It is one of her magical creations, and she no doubt has a clever way of refilling it. These were good points, but they left Micah feeling deflated. He kept running into the same problem. Whenever he tried to lend a hand around Circus Mirandus, there was always someone who could do the job quicker and better than he could. Of course, it was smarter to let the magicians who knew what they were doing take care of things, but never being able to help in any real way reminded Micah that he was still an outsider. And it was even worse when the mess that needed cleaning up was the one he'd made himself. The lightbender was watching him closely. He cleared his throat. I realize the idea did not respond in the way you expected, he said, but it was clearly enthused by your offer of friendship. Micah considered the way Fish had whacked the wall of the aquarium with his tail. That could have been a friendly gesture, couldn't it? And perhaps he should think of Fish's decision to eat the knot as a compliment. That's true, he said, smiling. Maybe he did appreciate it. Buoyed up by this happy thought, Micah followed the lightbender back to his tent. Over their heads, the teal flames flickered and died. When Micah looked up one last time, nothing was left of the magnificent dragon but a drifting skeleton of smoke.